Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because what we are living through is almost indescribable and unbelievable, but this is actually happening. You are going to see more free stuff given away over the course of the next calendar year than we have in our entire lives. The idea with this is that if free money is given out, people will vote a certain way. And it's on both sides. So don't think it's one side. No, it's on both sides. But the idea with this is that people need to bootstrap and pull themselves together and live broke. And most people don't want to do that. So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. But just a beautiful morning as you start your day on the Central Coast. Isn't that just lovely? There's so much to cover in this video. Can't wait to share it with you. Now, first things first, the most important part of our economy that drives everything, that employs 90% of us, is small business. Think about this right now. Small business represents over 40% of the new hires, and no one's hiring right now. This is absolutely catastrophic, and it is absolutely affecting so many people from Main Street to Wall Street. And you can sit there and act like this is no big deal, but we have had 2 jobs reports missing because the Bureau of Labor Statistics cannot give us the numbers. They're going to turn the government back on, and we're all supposed to sit there and go, oh, let's ignore this. No. This is going to be catastrophic. You're going to see more things get affected in the coming months, in the coming year, than ever before. And the Trump promise of $2,000 for tariffs, I'm just glad I'm right, guys. I made that prediction 2 months ago with a video in July or August. I made one when Elon was talking about it. And now Trump he's not saying, oh, it's a decent idea. He's suggesting this. But what you're also going to see is you're going to see things like healthcare rebates that are going to be given out to people, which is fine. I mean, you do what you got to do. You have to have insurance. Do not think that you can live without it. Oh, Dan, if I have a heart attack, they're going to treat me. Sure they are. But then you're going to have a bill for $588,000 that you will never be able to pay. And now, with the way litigation is, they will sue you for these old medical bills. Don't think that they won't. But when small business is not hiring, this is the end of everything right now. You need your local market to do well. The nail salon, the plumber with 1 truck, that guy needs to be able to earn a decent living. And right now, he's getting destroyed right now. So read the first story below because it's great, but it talks about how people just don't get how bad this is going to be and how this is affecting so many people right now. And when people are not hiring, there is a trickle-down effect. And we learned the words trickle-down with Ronald Reagan, but nobody wants to believe that the fat cats are going to help us. You got to help yourself. You got to, you got to live broke. You got to be able to get through things, get through difficult times, not spend every dollar that you have. The Trump administration is talking about a $10,000 bonus for people that worked for the government, mainly in the air traffic controller area, that did not jump ship and stayed aboard. Once again, free money for people. You're going to see different incentives given out to try to keep people involved and motivated. Stay on the team, guys. Don't quit. Major League Baseball had 2 players from the Cleveland Guardians, the Cleveland Indians, by the way, is what they really should be called, that were cheated. Now, here's the thing. I have Angel tickets, and one of those pitchers was pitching at Anaheim Stadium with the Angels. I think it was April or May of this last season. And My friends reminded me that one of those pictures got completely lit up, and one of my other friends was betting on pitches. Hey, guys, listen, we need a ball here, and I've got $50 bet, which I told him was just a horrible way to enjoy the game. He also bet, I think one of the innings, they had to have 3 runs scored in an inning for him to win his bet. And these 2 players got indicted for cheating. So what's real, guys? What is real when it comes to professional sports right now? Nothing is real right now. You know, when you have what the Houston Astros did a few years ago, and then I have people that write things like George Springer deserves to win the World Series. No, he doesn't. I was part of that team. The best thing about seeing George Springer play any place other than Toronto right now is that he gets booed mercifully, unmercifully, excuse me. And it's just great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But once again, you're an air traffic controller. My nephew may get an additional $10,000 bonus for not jumping ship. How do you guys feel about stuff like that? How do you feel about military getting bonuses? What do you think about that? What about airline pilots that suffered through this? There have been thousands of flights diverted and canceled over the course of the last just couple days, since Friday. And what fixes this? What fixes your lost vacation? My friends were telling me about how they flew into Heathrow one time and got delayed for 2 days in the Heathrow airport and lost 2 days of their trip to Spain, and were telling me how awful it was. And of course, the hotel didn't care. They were in Spain. They just took their money, and that was that. So a lot more to cover. Let me know what you think. Now, a few things in the economy that you cannot ignore. And the first one is yesterday, gold and silver went up tremendously. The talk of ending the government shutdown, and it was, a Fred Flintstone moment with their put the foot on the ground and stop it so that you could see gold and silver take off. You're going to see gold and silver do miraculous things over the course of, let's just say, 6 months and a year. It's going to be crazy. And if you look at the predictions from people, you could easily see $100 silver, easily. You could easily see $5,500 to $6,000 gold, without a doubt. And then some. Elon Musk set the business world on fire by his new pay package, which is $1 trillion. Not to be outdone, the CEO of Rivian, which is basically, I want to say it's his biggest competitor. But RJ Scaringe is the Rivian CEO, and the board says, listen, we want to keep this guy here. So we want to have a massive pay package. This man currently, right now, makes just over $1 million a year. They want to raise it to $2 million. Okay, it's a great living, right? Nothing compared to what they want to pay him. They want to pay a man $4.6 billion in incentives and stock options, and increasing his stock options from 16 million shares to 32 million shares. And they want to give this guy the moon if this guy can deliver. The only problem with Rivian right now is the company loses money hand over fist on every single car it sells. They lose money. They have never had profitability, but read the story below about RJ Scaringe, and then read the others. Just do a Rivian search. Hey, the losses are narrowing. We're selling thousands of cars. Everybody loves the vehicles. Highest auto rating in the world. I won't bore you with that stuff because it's all corporate PR shenanigans. So the tide's coming in right now. It's kind of exciting. But who's worth $4.6 billion in their pay package? The beauty of this, the absolute beauty of this, is I used to always dream that I would want to own a public company, and then there's certain things that make it impossible. Rivian is still in business because they are a public company. They can issue more shares, they can borrow against their shares, issue bonds. do things can keep the company plugging along. But they're losing money hand over fist. And, you know, the losses are narrowing. Who cares? Who cares? I drove a Rivian. It was almost 2 years ago now. And it was like driving a big golf cart. One of my greatest accomplishments in my family. My brother, my oldest brother, talked me out of buying a house, which I thank him all the time for. And I talked him out of getting his Rivian deposit back because of what a disaster the car is. And the car company, and at the time, his daughter is married to a man who was becoming a doctor, was doing his residency in Washington State. How many times are you going to have to stop between here and Washington? Tell me. I don't know, 6, 5? How about two too many? So good luck with Rivian. Good luck with these electric cars. You're seeing things change dramatically. Now, here's something that's crazy in Georgia. As the electric car boom turns south, and we realize that there are less and less of these cars that are making money and more problems, Hyundai's doubling down. Hyundai built a center to train its employees right now on the EV lifestyle. And it's going to employ, hopefully, starting with hundreds and up to 1,000 people to train people. But they have spent a fortune on EV school. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You're going to see such a problem with this next stimulus package. Don't forget this. This is not going to go the way people think it's going to go. Remember last time when they sent us money? We got to do whatever the hell we wanted with it. I mean, literally. You know, talk to anybody that worked at Walmart during that time. Hey, what's the biggest TV I can get with my $1,400? What about the sound bar? Can I get this? They did all that. People just squandered it. I went to CarMax at the time, and people would sit there and say, I have terrible credit. Here's my stimulus check. That's what I want to put down. What car can you get me in? Oh, you know, remember, the honest car company. Okay? Great. Fabulous. Okay? But it will be interesting to see what happens. Because what they're going to do is they're going to restrict this money and tell you where, and, you know, hey, I want to be a participating retailer. Well, what's that? You can spend your stimulus check here. We got approved by the federal government to do that because we have, you know, good service, good value, good pricing, shenanigans, guys. Absolute shenanigans. So your friends and family will benefit from this if you're part of that club. The rest of us have to work for a living. Don't ever forget that. Well, let me know what you think so far. A few reminders. Don't forget this is your last chance to join Bob Kudla's webinar on the 18th at 2 p.m. Pacific time on how to trade stocks. And you're going to follow the Trade Genius Guru and get his advice and be able to ask questions. It's fantastic. This is the largest one we've ever had, and I know it's going to sell out. So sign up when you can. Go to bobstradingclass.com and sign up. Now, one area of our government that is hiring like crazy right now is ICE. Over the course of the last 2 months, they have had 200,000 applications. Different cities are going like gangbusters. But this leads down this path of, you know, officers getting incentives if they want to leave. People that want to leave New York City as police officers, and I am telling you, I have got some of the best intel from retired New York cops that give me stuff. And I have a buddy that is just a close friend who's just really with it. And the morale is done, guys. With this latest election, they're finished. But come join ICE, and we'll give you a $5,000 bonus. Come become a police officer in Florida. DeSantis will give you a $5,000 bonus. You're going to see people jump ship at a complete record pace right now. You can act like, oh, Dan, it's just, That's exaggeration. It's hyperbole. Think about this. I can't verify this yet because I've had the story sent to me from multiple places and Reddit feeds and different things like that on X. But Swift Trucking is the world's largest trucking company, and they're saying we're done with New York City. We're not going to deal with New York. But what this is going to do in New York City is put independent truckers out of business. Small business, guys. Remember the 40% that we first talked about? These people that have 1 and 2 drivers and 3 and 4 trucks, these people are finished. You know, you had congestion pricing in New York. That has been a killer for these people. You've had, you know, we can't help you run a better economy, so we're just going to tax everybody. Oh, you guys have to leave? Okay. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Now, think about this. We've heard the term debanking and unbanked. Unbanked comes from really poor economies right now. And here's the wild part. 95% of the world has a cell phone. 95%. Now, they might not be the latest iPhone 55 and all that stuff that's out there. I'm exaggerating about the 55 part. But the point is that it is crazy. And, you know, you have about 75% of the world that has access to a banking account. Now, the problem with this is that number's going down. You've got areas in Africa and the Middle East where people don't have bank accounts. Isn't that wild to think about? How do you get by? Well, I guess you have a paper check. I had a relative that was getting Social Security, and she moved twice during this time, but her Social Security check got sent to a P.O. box that was literally 40 miles away. And it's time for me to go get my check. I hope it's there. I hope it's there. Why don't you just have it put into your account? Well, I don't have a banking account. You know that there are debit cards. There are prepaid debit cards from different companies that you can have, you know, your banking account set up at. And basically, you're not through a bank. It's through a fintech company, but you can have deposits made to it. And they give you incentives like, hey, if you have your paycheck put here, every other month we'll give you $25. They'll do crazy things like that to get you to these places. Now, they have fees like everybody else, but instead of driving 40 miles to go pick up a Social Security check, that's one way of doing it. But the unbanked world is interesting. It's a problem. It's going to get more and more interesting as things move forward, and they want to have this global economy and this global shift. So let me know what you think about that. It was announced that JP Morgan actually debanked Donald Trump and got a subpoena from Jack Smith. Now, we don't talk politics too much on this side of the fence. We do it on the private channel on iAllegedly Live. But here is the thing about this that is absolutely maddening. And Devin Nunes, who runs the Trump Social and Trump Media company now, was talking about how subpoenas were issued for January 6th from Jack Smith, and the Trump Media company wasn't even open then. And then Jamie Dimon, man of the people, $38.5 million a year, that Jamie Dimon, shut down the Trump organization and debanked them. How is that fair? And again, if you hate Donald Trump, that's not the point. The point is that you need to have a world where everybody can have access to their bank account. Everybody can have access to money. But they never told the Trump organization that there was a subpoena. Now, I called a friend of mine who is a criminal defense attorney and said, explain, Dan, you got that wrong. They have to notify people of a subpoena. They want them involved. That way somebody has the option to object against it. This can't be done. Well, it was done, sent her the story, and she was flabbergasted. Totally talking about how illegal that was and how wrong it was. But is it illegal because it's somebody you don't like? That's the question. That's the $64,000 question. I am going to end this video with these last couple stories. And here's a list of the 10 best used cars to buy. Second to the last story in the video description. Check that out. And they gave reasonings, and you know, it's from Consumer Reports, so supposedly there's no advertising and it's not something that can be faked, and they just give honest assessments. Repairs, mileage, recalls, all the stuff that we hate and that we talk about in this channel. So many people go out and complain to me, Dan, about what it costs to insure their car. They didn't know it before they got it. Look at this stuff, research, but check out that article. Final story, and this is the sign of the times, and that is Robinhood, the stock trading app that had people short things and do things. You know, there was a bunch of children that lost money, 4 and 5 years ago. It is crazy because they're going to get in the mortgage space now, and they're going to offer discount mortgages. I'm like, whoa, they're going to be able to have lower interest rates? No, not at all. Not even close. They're going to give you lower closing costs. How about no closing costs? How about I don't want to pay any fees on my mortgage? How about you sit there and, I'm telling you, do research. But mortgages through Robinhood, I think it's a disaster, guys. I absolutely do. Because the idea of simplicity online and just being able to fill out an app and get your mortgage, you're going to get people in deeper and deeper financial trouble. As they give away the moon, I had a video sent to me that I wish I could play you, and it's a guy complaining about how difficult it is to own a house. Oh my gosh, we have to pay for everything. No one ever told us about this. The guy's like 45 years old complaining about home ownership. And then my other friend, who is a brilliant businessman, Jillionaire, said, Dan, my house is so simple. It's exactly what we needed, which is what I have, guys, okay? My house is tricked out. I love it, but I don't need to have a mortgage payment through the moon to impress anybody. It's ridiculous. But to get a mortgage through Robinhood, the financial app, what do you guys think of that? Let us know. Let us all know about this. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I love finding these 10 best and 10 worst and things like that. Let me know what you think.